All right, we're about to spend 1 week in the Viking afterlife. But first, you gotta do something for me. Forget everything you think you know about Valhalla. Seriously, forget the epic victory songs, the grand halls, all of it. Because we're about to find out what that eternal reward is really all about.
You know the image, right? It's like a heavy metal album cover come to life. The ultimate reward for a warrior's life, just pure glory and non-stop feasting. But what if that was just really good marketing? What if that promise of paradise was hiding something else?
Okay, let's really dig into this, because this one idea, it changes everything. This reframes Valhalla not as some final glorious destination, but as a place of constant, grueling work. It's not a party, it's a training ground. And guess what? Your shift never, ever ends.
So let's just drop you right in there. You've just arrived. A Valkyrie drops you off and poof, she's gone. There's no orientation, no welcome speech from Odin. Just this frigid air that bites at your skin and the constant ringing sound of battle. This is it. Welcome to day one.
So you find yourself on this vast frozen plain, and you're surrounded by thousands of other warriors. And it is pure, unrelenting chaos. An axe whistles right past your ear. You turn, you fight. There's no strategy here, no grand objective. It's just survive until you don't. It's a brutal, constant free-for-all, and there is no way out.
And this is where it gets really weird. This loop, this unbreakable routine. From dawn till dusk, you fight. And you will die. It's gonna happen. But then, you just wake up, whole again, in the Great Hall. You get to feast, sure, but it doesn't feel like a celebration. It's just refueling for the next day's shift. Then you sleep, only to wake up and do it all over again.
So, day one is a massive shock to the system. But day two? Oh, that's when the real horror starts to sink in. The shock wears off, and you're left with the cold, hard truth of the routine. Let's see how this brutal rhythm really starts to grind you down over the week.
And this just perfectly illustrates the whole experience. The sheer, soul-crushing monotony. By day three, the faces of the other warriors have all just blurred into one single endless enemy. By day four, that epic feast feels less like a reward and more like a mandatory meal break in the company canteen. And by day five, well, the glory is a distant memory. All that's left is the grind, the biting cold, and that endless, crushing repetition.
All right, let's pull back from that freezing battlefield for just a second. It's time to put the two versions of Valhalla side by side. On one hand, you've got the myth we all know and love. And on the other, the brutal reality that you've just survived. And here it is, the stark contrast. You were promised endless glory. You got a job. You expected epic feasts. You got a mess hall. You were told there'd be songs of your heroism, but all you can hear is the shriek of steel and the howling wind. See, the myth sells you the destination. The reality? The reality is the endless, brutal, thankless process.
And just like that, 7 days are gone. Your week is up. You endured the cycle, the cold, the constant violence. You have lived the life of an Einherjar, one of Odin's chosen warriors. You've seen the truth that's hiding behind the legend.
7 days. In our world, that's just a week. But in there, it was an eternity. You fought and died 7 times. You were brought back to life whole again 7 times. You earned your seat at that hollow feast 7 times. And you faced that blood-red dawn on that frozen battlefield 7 times.
So that brings us to the real question, doesn't it? Now that you've been there, now that you've lived it, was the glory worth the grind? When an epic saga just becomes your daily schedule, does the legend itself die? Because this version of Valhalla, it isn't a reward, it's a forge. It is a non-stop, brutal training camp for the one battle that truly matters, Ragnarök. So the final question isn't whether you'd want to go there, it's what kind of warrior emerges from a 24/7 fight club in the freezing cold?